Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. I wanted to call to your attention at this time a document amongst the many documents that the Moscow Police Department released for the first time on July 23rd, 2025, providing the public with a glimpse into the investigatory files regarding the horrendous crimes that occurred at 1122 King Road on November 13th, 2022. Document or sequence number 110 was prepared by Detective Brett Payne on January 11th, 2023, and recalls events occurring on January 6th, 2023. The subject of this document is collection of items from 1122 King Road, and the evidence collected appears in section 2 of this document, and they are nightstand, comforter, blue blanket, pillows, mattress, bed frame, mattress, bed frame, pillows, shelf and picture, nightstand, pillows. According to the narrative, Detective Payne writes, on January 6th, 2023, I went back into 1122 King Road with several members of the Idaho State Police and feds in order to collect several pieces of evidence at the request of the defense counsel in this case. Once on scene, we collected the mattress, bed frame, nightstand, pillows, and blankets from Kernodle's room. We also collected the mattress, bed frame times 2 folding frames, nightstand, pillows, and shelf from the east wall of Mogan's room. The items were wrapped and transported separately back to the Moscow Police Department, where they were placed on opposite sides of the MPD evidence bay. They completed the evidence involvement for each item, and they were secured in the bay. And under the certification reads as follows: I certify or declare under penalty of perjury, pursuant to the law of the state of Idaho, that the following is true and correct. And it's signed by Corporal Payne, January 11th, 2023, and reviewed by Sergeant Dustin Blaker on January 12th, 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could interject a few comments here. It was not until these documents from the MPD's files were released to the public that, in my opinion, and I give comments and speculation and give opinions under the First Amendment as I do, that the public understood just what a fierce, intense battle occurred in both of these bedrooms, in Xana's bedroom and in Madison's bedroom, which appeared to be 2 small bedrooms. If there was as intense of a battle that we have recently learned, why weren't items such as pillows and blankets collected when the Moscow Police Department and their partners first entered the residence on November 13th, 2022, to determine if, during these fierce struggles, if any microscopic DNA from the perpetrator or perpetrators of these events were cast off when the perpetrator or perpetrators leaned over and attacked Madison and Kaylee, as we have now been given some insight into what happened. Same with Xana and Ethan, to see if any material was left over. DNA could be sweat, it could be tears, it could be hair, it could be cells, pieces of skin that might have been left in these two rooms. Why did it take until January 26th, 2023, the better part of 2 months after the event, and only after defense counsel asked that these items be collected and preserved? And recall what happened up to this point. We have learned the large number of people that entered this crime scene. Not just members of the investigation team, but members of the prosecutorial team. Both Mr. Thompson and Ms. Jennings entered this property. We learned that during the collection of what was described as personal items on December 7th, 2022, many more people entered that property, including then Chief Fry's administrative assistant, to gather, to box up things and to take them out of the property, including in these two rooms. What type of potential contamination might have occurred by then? What evidence might have been lost? In looking at these documents, it's not to, ladies and gentlemen, nitpick and play Monday morning quarterback. It's with my personal belief that Xana and Ethan and Kaylee and Madison deserved the best of an investigation, deserved every I being dotted, every T being crossed, every rock being looked under, and every road gone down to ensure the best possible investigation into who possibly could have been responsible for the catastrophic events of 1122 King Road. If you have any comments, any thoughts on this matter, please leave them here. Until next time, this is Kathy. Thank you very much for joining us here today.